this one, we want to write this one in the form of this one, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to rewrite the equation to have a common value from the both sides. So with this, we can have 5 exponent x times 2. This is the same as this one, is the same, okay? Minus 6, 5 exponent x plus 5 is equal to what? 0. And now, since we have the same thing here that are in the bracket, we represent that by what? A variable. So let's say, let x be equal to 5 exponent x. So at the end, we are going to have x 2 minus 6x plus 5 should be equal to 0. Now, since we have this, we can remove the bracket and expand whatever that we have. X exponent x squared minus 6 times x is 6x plus 5 should be equal to what? 0. Now, this equation is a quadratic equation. We solve the quadratic equation and solve for the variables. So, what we are going to do is we are going to look for two numbers. When you multiply, we get positive 5, but when we add, we get negative 6. And these numbers are negative 5 and negative 1. So what we are going to do is minus 5x minus x plus 5 should be equal to 0. And then grouping like terms, grouping this, we are going to get factorize x out, x minus 5 minus 1 out. So we get x minus 5, and at the end, we get x minus 1 and x minus 5 to be equal to 0. But don't forget this part. This part, we said x is equal to what? 5 exponent x. So that is what we are going to do. This part says x minus 1 is equal to 0. Now let's solve for x. X is equal to positive 1. But our x from the beginning of the solution is equal to 5 exponent x, right? Now, we are going to have 5 exponent x is equal to positive 1 from here. Is that okay? Because x is equal to 5 exponent x, then we can write 5x exponent x is equal to 1. Okay, so if you can write like that, then we can also write any number on the right-hand side, which the base will be equal to what? 5 to the exponent that will make the same value. What I mean by that is when we have 5 exponent x is equal to 5 exponent 0, any number to the power 0 is what? 1. So 5 exponent 0 is the same as 1, so we can write it this way. And since we have the same base, 5 and here, 5 there, we can equate the exponent, and x will be equal to what? 0 for this side. Now let's look at the other side. The other side is x minus 5 is equal to 0. And then we find x. X is equal to positive 5. But we know our x to be equal to 5 exponent x. So what we are going to do is 5 exponent x is equal to 5. And this one, we know this 5 on the right-hand side is the same as 5 exponent 1. So let's write 5x is equal to 5 exponent 1. And we have the same base, so our x is equal to what? 1. So the solution set for this exponential function is what? X is equal to 0 and x is equal to what? 1. All right, now let's solve question 2. So we have question 2 like this, and we are asked to find the solution of this question. So what we are going to do is, we are going to also write it in the form where we have a common value to this one, and we represent that one by what? A variable. But before that, we know from the law of indices that when we have the same basis of a number multiplying itself, we add the exponent. So therefore, we can write or rewrite this one as 3 exponent 2x think I have to use different. 3 exponent 2x times 3 exponent 1, right? In this, for only this one, the expansion can be written as this. Okay, so minus 10, 3 exponent x plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, so with this, what we are going to do is we want to change this side to be the same as this side. Okay, and changing this, we can write it as 3 exponent x 2. It will give us the same thing. Multiply by 3 exponent 1 minus 10, 3 exponent x plus 3 is equal to 0. Now, since we have these common values here, let's represent it by what? A variable. So let's x is equal to 3 exponent x. And we are going to have x to the power 2 times 3 to the power 1. 3 to the power 1 is what? 3. We know that. Minus 10 to the power 10 times x, because 3 exponent x is x plus 3 is equal to 0. Now we have this one. We can multiply and we get 3x exponent 2 minus 10x plus 3 is equal to 0. We have quadratic again. Then we solve the quadratic. Now, two numbers, when we multiply, we get 9, but when we add, we get minus 10. So we get minus, when we multiply, we get 9, but when we add, we get minus 10. We can go with minus 9 and minus 1. So at the end, we are going to have 3x squared minus 9x minus 1x plus 3 should be equal to 0. So let's group and factorize. So with the factorization, 3x out, and we get x minus 3. With this side, we have minus 1 out, x minus 3 should be equal to 0. Now, what you're going to have now is we are going to have 3x minus 1, and we have x minus 3 should be equal to 0. Let's solve for x. So 3x minus 1 should be equal to 0. And then 3x is equal to positive 1. How do we find x? We can find x by dividing both sides by 3. And we have x is equal to 1 over 3. And 1 over 3 can also be written as x is equal to 3 exponent minus 1. But our x from the beginning of the solution is equal to 3 exponent x. So x is equal to 3 exponent x, and we are going to replace this one by 3 exponent x. So 3 exponent x should be equal to 3 exponent minus 1. And since we have the same base, we can equate the exponent. X is equal to minus 1. And then we find the other one, which is x minus 3 equals 0. And we find x, our x is equal to positive 3. But we know x to be equal to 3 exponent x. So our 3 exponent x is equal to 3. And we know this is the same as 3 exponent 1, because it will give us what? 3. And the same base, so we equate the exponent and you get 1. Therefore, the values of this exponential function is what? Minus 1 and positive 1. And that should be your values.